What's up, guys? It's regional day, baby. Regional day. We got some games going on right now, actually. Gators are getting smoked. That is correct. I'm going to pull that up here. It's crazy how it works out sometimes. Coog, what's up, man? Canes, we are on the way to the stadium. Gators are getting smoked. Blue, let's go Canes. That's right. ECU, Zach. Canes taking over Hattiesburg. Hey, man. I believe you guys are going to show out in force, but I would be surprised if you can actually take over Hattiesburg, because that place is going to be slammed. Florida has gone to the bullpen twice already? That is crazy. That is crazy that Florida has gone to the bullpen already twice in the top of the third inning. 6-0 East Carolina. And this is nightmare scenario for Florida because we've talked about it, right? The worst thing that can happen, especially in game one, obviously a loss, that's the worst thing. But if you lose and you have to use like 5 or 6, 7 bullpen arms, like Florida's already gone to the bullpen twice, so this is their second bullpen arm. Now, the good thing is they took out their starter early, which means he can pitch later in the weekend. But you got to get there. It's still early. But, I mean, yeah, this would be and remember, guys, East Carolina did not play this year as well as a lot of people thought they would. So the reality is that a lot of people would, like ECU is a better team than their record suggests, right? So much like Florida, they started out really bad, and then again, they're in a mid-major conference, so it's like no matter how well they finish, they're just not going to look as good as, like, say, Florida looked finishing in the SEC. But East Carolina's got a good squad. They just did not play very well to start the year. All right, let's see. I gotta make sure Dusty knows we're live. All right. ECU got hot at the perfect time. Yeah, and again, that's postseason baseball, is like which team is firing on all cylinders here. Looks like they're having a third inning team meeting in the dugout for Florida. And East Carolina's got Ethan Norby going, who, again, he is tough, man. He is tough. Zach, has Georgia Tech announced who's pitching? I don't believe so. Let me go check. I haven't seen anything. There's 3 pictures when they announced, when it said like it's tournament time, game time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Like in the picture they used, it's Tate McKee. So that makes me think it's probably going to be Tate McKee. And Georgia Tech is rolling with Western Kentucky is, like I told you guys, Western Kentucky is very good. Like you can't just, if you think that your 1 is significantly better than your 2 and your 3, and your first game you feel like is going to be a tough one, like you have to throw your 1. So it looks like Georgia Tech will be throwing Tate McKee. based on the messaging they're sending out with that tweet today. They haven't sent out the lineup tweet yet. Obviously, we got a few hours before that game starts. Great play by the third baseman for East Carolina. Holy cow. If you have a guy that can run there, it's probably safe, but got to get that first W, Nancy. Yep, you do. You do. You have to get that first W, like no question. Like in the best case scenario, you can throw your number 2, but and again, I do think interesting decision by Mississippi State starting their best bullpen arm against Northeastern. That is an interesting decision. And the thing is, Zach, like the question for Northeastern is like the offense going to be able to put up enough runs against, an SEC team, an ACC, like the two really good teams. Like Mississippi State finished the season very well. Like people forget. They struggled. They were kind of inconsistent for most of the SEC schedule, but since Parker took over as interim head coach, like they played very well. So Mississippi State's no slouch. They are very talented. And Northeastern obviously has one of the best pitching staffs in the country. And so it's like, does Northeastern's offense score enough runs? I do kind of like their chances if Mississippi State's starting a bullpen arm. That's if I'm Northeastern and I'm on the coaching staff, I'm saying, guys, like these guys think they have so little respect for you. They're starting their bullpen against you. Right? Try to get the guys pumped up. Try to get them like, yeah, these guys think you're not good because you're from the Northeast. But that is an interesting decision, Zach. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. But this is the part of the season, again, like I've told you guys, like the regional structure is so alien to how you play the rest of the year, the rest of the season, that, sometimes you have to come up with some unique strategies. But, dude, East Carolina is locked in. Like, they're making all the plays. What a play by the first baseman there. That is a very difficult play. I really would like to see. I don't know where the second baseman was playing. He might have been shifted over. See on this replay. But that's honestly like, dude, he got back there. That's a play you want your second baseman making, but great play by the first baseman. Wow. Excuse me. Does it get you nervous all the picks of Georgia Tech winning that regional don't usually get that? No. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really – pundits are going to pick teams. And it's just like at the end, it doesn't matter who picks who. It's who plays the best. So that doesn't make me nervous. Almost showtime. The Canes are ready. How long until the Canes how long until the first game? How long until Canes take the field? Watching this in Florida game on split screen phone. Y'all know how to turn volume off on ESPN Plus? I'm sure there's like a volume tab on there, right, Goog? I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a volume thing. Could be wrong, though. Let's go Miami. Dusty's in the chat. Wow, you guys, I literally go check X just to see what's going on. All right, let's go ECU. Another day, another late 1 o'clock live start. Dusty, I was like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. WTF, Florida losing 6-0. LMAO, a 954. Yeah, they're getting... East Carolina looks great. Dusty says, let's go Miami. Zach says, starts at 3 Eastern. All right, nice. Where are the Georgia Tech fans at? Who made it to Ole Miss? I guess we'll find out here soon. The big question is, do we get the Canes that went on the 11-game ACC winning streak, or do we get the inconsistent Canes from the other 44 games? That is a good question. Miami going with Siskar tomorrow. No, it's today. Will you watch game by yourself? The Georgia Tech game? I mean, I'll be watching with people. Canes today. Siskar's pitching today. Siskar today. Watch, Nancy. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Hopefully the team that played Cal doesn't show up. Yeah, that's true. Is Southern Miss going to pitch off? I bet they do, just to be honest. I bet they do. I bet they do. ECU came to play today. Ted, what's up, Ted? Welcome back to the chat. I bet Southern Miss pitches off, just because they do have a very deep pitching staff, and if you're going to win against an SEC or an ACC team, wow. Who are you going to watch the game with, Kyle? I don't know. I don't have any plans set up for it. Couldn't convince Hubs to go to Oxford. Says he'd go to Oxford, Georgia. I don't know what East Carolina's runner at first was doing, but that seemed like a pretty slow developing play. How do you get thrown out at second there? Let's get Mott down here. Text him, Dusty. Mott should be in the live. I'm going to text Mott. I'm going to text Mott, tell him we're live. I'm texting Mott right now. I would be, honestly, Dusty, we should go eat somewhere and see if we can watch it. That'd be kind of cool. Tim Shrek. I imagine all the teams in the playoffs will likely recruit from the portal this year. Thoughts? I mean, they are getting all the attention. I mean, they're not going to just solely recruit from the portal, but the deeper you go in the tournament, the easier it is to recruit. I mean, albeit, again, if you're an SEC team who didn't make it in the tournament is offering you a lot of money to come play there, you probably don't care as much. But generally speaking, the deeper you go in the tournament, it helps you with recruiting in general, not just the portal. But a lot of these teams, most of the recruiting now, Tim, for high school players doesn't happen until July. So the reality is, the teams that are in for the month of June, they're going to be recruiting portal guys for the most part in the month of June, which is what everybody's doing now. But most teams will be good to go recruit in July by the time that they'll all be out of the tournament by then. Southern Miss already announced they're not pitching their ace tonight. Think they're pitching their number 3 guy. Wow. But that makes sense. I mean, I think that's a great idea for them. Do you guys ever get together to watch games? Yes, we do. We do. It's hard now, Nancy, because we all have kids and, all that stuff, but we do get together. I feel like we get together a decent amount of times. We play fantasy football together. We got a group text, so we're always talking. Columbia will upset Southern Miss. Man, that would be crazy. Columbia's pretty good, man. East Carolina just continuing. Every inning is putting multiple runners on base. Tim Shrek, makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, Tim. No problem. But that's a great question. I think that's something a lot of parents don't know that yet, is that most coaches now, and I can tell you from being out at all these tournaments last summer in June, I don't want to say ghost town, but that's what it felt like compared to previous summers for the tournaments in June. Because it used to be in June, you're at East Cobb, you're at Lake Point, some of these other places, over in Hoover, you're seeing a lot of coaches there. Last summer, it was like way less coaches. And then July came around and it picked up and, it was more kind of normal numbers. And that's just kind of the new reality. It's because, the portal opens beginning of June and teams want to get that figured out before. Dude. East Carolina is just like unleashing. (7-0) with 1 out, runners on second and third. Cincy up 2-0 on Wake. No run rule in the tournament. Wake has been so inconsistent this year. I mean, it's early though, Zach. I mean, it's not 2 runs is nothing. But you're right about Wake. They've been like, if you look at that team talent-wise, they should have been one of the best teams in the ACC. So that is a scary team to have in your regional because if they do play like they can, they're dangerous. But like you said, it's which team shows up. And same is true of Miami, right? Like Miami, that on that 11-game stretch looked like all of a sudden they were one of the best teams in the ACC. So it's just a matter of which Wake Forest shows up. I thought everyone tells me all the pitchers in the SEC throw 95 plus. This guy just threw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He's right-handed. Dude. East Carolina is just like, this is like Florida right now. You cannot keep changing bullpen arms now. That's their issue now. This game has gotten so out of hand that you have to leave guys in for as long as possible. Florida needs to just put in their worst relievers and save bullpen. That's right, Zach. Like now it's so far out of hand. Again, like your strategy will change, but right, like you said, you need to throw guys that are not important relievers and just hope they can keep it as close as possible so that you have guys because it's looking like you're going to be in the losers bracket. Good base running by East Carolina, man. They're just not making any mistakes. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Runner at second does a great job getting back to second. Like East Carolina's making all the plays. They're base running well. They're having good at bats. Tim Schreck 9-0. What the hell? Dude, I mean, insane. Insane. But that's what I said earlier is everyone thought East Carolina was going to be way better this year than they actually played. So it's kind of like Wake Forest. Like if the East Carolina that shows up that won the tournament, that's scary. And that's what they're looking like right now. Oh my dude. And this is like when I talk to you guys about, obviously now for Florida, they can't just keep running out new arms and just waste all their arms. But watch this inning, it's nothing but hard contact, right? It's just hard contact. Even there, he just crushes one foul. That's the indicator as a coach you're looking at, and you're thinking, okay, we need to get someone in. We need to get someone else in. Everyone picked Florida to win this regional. Hey, you know what? But Florida's got the depth. But it's definitely hard to win a regional when you lose game one. Definitely hard. ECU, I had Florida coming out of this region. Well, it's double elimination, Buck. Like, it ain't over yet. And they could come back and win this, albeit very unlikely. Certainly, it's not going the way Florida would like right now. Yikes, that hurt. Kyle, do you love college baseball? I love college baseball. Zach, everyone picked Florida to win this regional. Yeah, I know. I mean, Cincinnati up 2-0 early on Fake Forest. That's pretty good. Squeeze Play is back. I'm happy. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get invited onto that this year. Unbelievable. All right, let me see if I'm going to pull up the Wake Forest game because Florida right now to me it's actually not a very interesting game. You know what's funny is like the coaching carousel is so funny because what is Tom Walter thinking? And I'm sure he's like really supportive of Corey Muscara, but does it add a little bit of discord in at least in the coach's locker room when like everyone's reporting that your pitching coach is going to leave to go to Mississippi State if Brian O'Connor gets the job? You know, it's kind of interesting. Mott said he will be in the chat soon. All right. Best day of the year. Blue, you're right, man. This is the best day of the year. Can't believe Wake Forest threw that freshman a change when he looked bad on the curveball. Wake Forest has to cut down the walks. Yeah, I mean, the thing about, I will say this, when you like, it's very easy to question pitch calls. Obviously, like hindsight's 2020. But I do tend to agree with you, Buck. Like when a guy looks really bad on a pitch, like I just like going back to it. I just like going back to it because the hitter will tell you like 90% of the time what he can and can't hit and what he's on and what he's not on. So I just like, I kind of like what you're saying there. I mean, if the guy looks bad on a curveball, like you just go back to it. Is a mercy rule in playing the tournament? No, it's not. No mercy rule. And I like that because I think, like, think about it like this. Your one seed, some of your one seeds, like Arkansas is playing Little Rock, or Louisville, LSU is playing Little Rock. They would probably run rule them very quickly, and that would give LSU a massive advantage as far as bullpen and everything. College baseball tournament is the best tournament in sports, 100%. All the ECU hitters are using that brand new light blue combat bat. It's hot. It looks hot. Buck. Will it ever stop raining in Atlanta? Good hell. It doesn't seem like it, Dusty. It's supposed to stop tomorrow, but then I saw next week, like 3 or 4 days, it's going to be raining. I'm trying to get out and cut the grass, and my yard is so soaked I can't cut it. They had set him up with the fastball away, hammer with the curve again. So they went curveball, he looked bad, and then went fastball away. And then you're saying they should have come back with the curveball? Coach, ETA on my ESA hat. I've actually ordered, like, I think my minimum order was like 25 or 30 hats. They're not the same as the white one. They're black with just the white ESA logo. But those, dude, it's crazy when you order these custom hats. It's like 7 or 8 weeks to get made and shipped, which to me, I'm like, I don't even know how how does it take that long? But so we'll have hats. It's going to be a few months probably. We have arrived at Pete Taylor Park. Canes, this is strictly a business trip. That's right, Canes. I need on-field reporting from you. No debauchery out of you. You know we're gonna see Canes like like the camera's gonna find him And yeah, he's going to be doing just ridiculous stuff. We talked about it yesterday, guys. Wake Forest, like their big issue on the pitching side is the walk rate. That is the key for them. If they can limit walks, like they really can beat a lot of teams, but they've just walked so many guys. Curve strike, he froze. Curve strike, he froze. Fastball away, ball. Then through the change, he was set up for another curve away. Yep. Yeah. Was it a right-handed hitter too? I just don't like the like that's a new thing that everyone's doing. Everyone and again, if you have the right kind of changeup, you can have success. But like generally speaking, for 100 years, you didn't really want to throw a changeup, a right-on-right changeup, or a left-on-left changeup, unless you have a very above average to elite changeup. And Cincinnati's looking good too, man. I hope Canes is going day-to-day on the hotel stay. Don't repeat Raleigh, Canes. Well, he may have got a huge discount if he booked, 4 nights. I guess if you get there tonight, it'd be what? It'd be Friday night. That's 3 nights. Yes, right-handed hitter change from a righty is for a left-handed hitter. Yeah, like 90% of the time. There are guys like Mason Patel. There are guys that with really good changeups that it's fine to throw it, but if the changeup is like your 3rd or 4th pitch, I don't like it being used. Right on right, left on left. It just doesn't make sense. It's so much harder for a hitter to pick up movement away from the hitter. It's much easier to pick up movement towards the hitter. So like generally, a hitter is going to pick up that changeup quicker right on right than if it was a left-handed hitter. It's just so hard. Again, a ball that's running into you, you may get jammed, but it's easier to make contact. A ball that's going away from you is much harder to make the adjustment and reach and foul it off. Man, Cincinnati is just... I booked until Monday. Nice, Canes. Nice. Cincinnati has always been an enigma. Really good facilities and good prep baseball. It's kind of one of those things, Dusty, that we've talked about. It's so many of the cold weather schools and the West Coast schools, they're just losing. They're not getting their best players to the schools in state. The best players are going to the SEC and the ACC. I do think Cincinnati, obviously moving into a Power 4 conference, will help them in recruiting in the future. That's a balk. What are you doing, man? What is going on? Did he just try to pick off to first base? What is going on, man? Corey Mascara is about to just light this guy up. It is interesting. I feel like some of the best pitching coaches, like, again, they're not yelling at their guys every time, but in the right moment, they know when it's like, got to go hard on them. Yes, he assumed first base was holding, and instead he was on his hip. Classic. But, dude, no, Dusty, right before he picked, he looked over at first base and saw the first baseman was on his hip. And then the second baseman covered. So I think it was supposed to be a timing pick to second base, and somehow he mixed it up. Because the second baseman broke, and then he picked to first. I think it definitely was going to be a timing pick, but it was supposed to go to second. But even if you just throw it, just lob it. Now the question is, what is Cincinnati going to do here? It's time for the Ken Griffey strategy. I was watching this video yesterday. Sean Casey talked about how Ken Griffey Jr. always drove in like 120 plus runs a year, RBIs. And he asked Ken Griffey, or he asked Junior, like, Canes, on my way to Hattiesburg. Who's this? Who's Canes? Is there, like, what is this? Is this a different Canes? And Ken Griffey Jr., he was like, what's the secret? Like, how do you drive in so many runs? He's like, it's hard enough to get to 100. How do you get 120 every year? And he said, ground ball to second. Ground ball to second. Runner on third, ground ball to second. And it's funny because no hitting coach, for the most part, is telling guys to do that in this day and age. And I think because he was thinking, I'm just going to hit a ground ball to second, he simplified. He takes the pressure off himself. I don't need to get a hit. I just got to hit a ground ball to second base. And I'm sure he ended up like really crushing balls in the gap, base hits, because he just simplified it in his mind. On my way to Hattiesburg. Canes, who are you? Are you the same Canes? Cincy with the safety squeeze, a team after your heart. I mean, I like it, man. I think this is a team that will do that. Just landed in Hattiesburg, headed to Pete Taylor. I need to check this. I need to check this Canes account. This is a suspicious account. Joined December Canes. Oh, I think it's Canes Miami. Joined December 25th, 2014. So I think this is legit Canes. It's not a troll account, that's for sure. Florida with another dinger. Oh, what's the score now? What's the score now, Buck, for Florida with Florida? Dude, this is as Canes created a burner smells fishy. No, that account was made in 2014. That's an 11-year-old account. I don't know why it's unless it's a different Canes. I can't imagine it is, but Wake Forest has nobody in the bullpen right now. That seems like a mistake that needs to be changed. I can't believe when Mascara went out there for the visit that they didn't send guys down to get hot. That's a dumb move right there. That's a dumb move by Cincinnati. I don't like that. Yes, sleeper accounts. You'd think he might be safe. I do not like the decision to tag up there, though. I think that's just it's so deep. There's no way you're throwing a guy out at home there. And now you just potentially gave up another out when it would have been first and third, and Cincinnati's just safety squeeze city. What is Cincy doing on the bases? Plays right in front of you. Yeah, but I talk to you guys about this all the time. Like, I don't know if that, I mean, maybe that's the first base coach telling him to tag. I hope not. It's one thing if it's like going to be close at home and you know the guy's going, and as a runner at first base, you need to watch that runner at third to make sure he actually is going. But it's totally different if there's really not going to be a play at home. There's always a chance at home with the right arm. You're right, Dan, but I don't know if that's the case here. If Dan Palka's in right, you got to be careful. Clearly no play at the plate on a deep F9, yes. Yeah, he may be safe here. I don't know, though, if that's the only angle we see. I'm not sure if they can overturn it. But I feel like in these reviews, they never abide by the rule of indisputable evidence. It never seems like that's the case. Or in Dan's case, it would be the left arm. That's right. Holy Cross has bases loaded, 1 out in the 6th, down 4-0. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why you would tag up there, because then you're just in a situation where Cincinnati's going to safety squeeze, and then you probably have 2 outs to run on second. Wow. Wow. Okay, they called him safe. Willie Cross has played Carolina tough. Well, the one thing you can say about Carolina is their offense, although it is playing better, it's still not like an elite offense, right? So Palka would be in center. That's right, Ma. Should have been. Daniel Palka, Kyle Watch Party live today at 4. We'll see. Kyle, are you going to be live for GT game? People are wanting you to. Do you guys think I should be? Is it going to jinx it? Like, who else is in Hattiesburg? How is parking? Anyone else in chat in Hattiesburg? Canes wants to know. Canes, I can almost guarantee you the parking's going to be rough. I was a better center fielder, but Kyle complained to DH so much I got moved to right. Yeah, I did. You're right. I did. Why would you, of all people, be a? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Dan, give us the inside scoop. Who is starting tonight? Is it McKee? I saw in the picture they posted that it was McKee. It didn't say he was starting, but they used his picture, so I'm assuming he's starting. Take risks, get rewards on base paths early. I get what you're saying, Wally, but in that situation, it doesn't matter, because if you get thrown out, it's a massive mistake. Because if you stay at first, Cincinnati's the type of team they're going to safety squeeze. And if you get thrown out, now you take that away. Oh my. Wow, he stood there like he hit that good. .40 Cincinnati. Productive at bat. Bro, we need you live. All right, well, I gotta make a. Any restaurant recommendations in Hattiesburg? No idea. I'm a hitting and fungo guy. Pitching knowledge is no longer my forte. What is this? Tech makes it to regional championship. We'll grill steaks if you, Dusty, and Daniel will come to our home. Makes it to the regional championship? All right, Nancy, we'll take that into consideration. Although I think Monday I do have a dinner planned already. I guess it depends on what day it'll be on, though. No way. Dude, Cincinnati is just like... Fake Forest 954 says, and Holy Cross strands the bases loaded ball game. Cincinnati, Dusty. Cincinnati. I like McKee tonight. I think our long relief guys' availability through the weekend is vital. Good Tate start with minimal primo bullpen arms used would be huge. No, 100%, Dan. I think if best case scenario, McKee starts tonight. You don't use Patel. You don't use Payton. You don't use really anyone. But here's the thing. If that's going to happen, if that's going to be possible, McKee cannot be throwing like 70% sliders. That's just not the case. And with the way his sinker was, the velocity on it, the way it was moving, like, I think you got to throw that a lot. That's just like, there's not a lot of right-handed hitters in college baseball that can have success off of his sinker when it's looking like it did in the ACC tournament. But if you're throwing 70% sliders, he's not going to make it past, best case scenario, 6th inning. So then you got 3 innings to cover. Like, that's tough. If he could go 8 innings, like, that's best case scenario, or at least get out to a big lead, right? The offense shows up, big lead. I don't even want to read that because I feel like it's, if I say it, let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, Mott. I'm not saying that. Mott, you think you're going to get me? Like, you think I know what you're trying to do. But I'm not a big fan of the guy. I'll say that. Patel and Payton are so essential. Yeah, I agree. Fastball is best pitch in the game. Yeah. And I feel like we've just... Dude! Cincinnati's up 8-0 in the 2nd inning. Dude, the 2 seeds are just getting dominated so far in regionals, which is... That's good. That means a lot of these 2 seeds are losing. That means the later 2 seeds are going to win. I can't believe this guy's still in the game, Dusty. That's what I can't figure out. I can't believe he's still in the game. And now it's at the point where you just kind of, all right, get out of the inning. Man, the ball flies up there in Tennessee, in Knoxville, huh? That ball flies. Look at how shallow it is there. It's kind of funny. It's 365 in like deep right center. Dude, that is... The announcer just goes, there's still nobody throwing in the Wake bullpen. And I think they just, wow, there we go. Man, I cannot stop just crushing my camera. All right. What does that do to morale of the team? Just trying to get out of the inning. It's not going well. Well, Wake Forest morale is we lose. Like, that's like when you get down this big early, deep down, you know, we still have, like, we can chip away, but like if they don't score here in the bottom of the 2nd, like if they get shut out for a few more innings, all of a sudden it starts feeling like, yeah, we ain't winning this. Is Wake Forest conceding this game, keeping the starter in? I mean, I think right now, I think when you're down 8-0, you just kind of go, okay, you're at 60-something pitches. Like, you got 40 more. Like, go as far as you can. That's probably what's being said in the bullpen or in the dugout right now. Like, we need you to cover innings now. That's what's being said. It's one thing if it's like a 3, 4, 5-run game, because in this era of college baseball, especially in Knoxville, that's not a big lead. But once it gets to like 7 runs, 8 runs, like that's a whole nother thing. Well, now I'm gonna go back to Florida now because that's. I could be wrong about this buck. Dusty probably knows. Dan probably knows as well. I believe the 1 seed can pick which game they want to play. The 1 seed gets choice of playing either like first game or the second game. And Norby's in the bottom of the 5th, 1 out, and he's at 62 pitches. So he's got like, and this is what I'm talking about. Like if you're ace, like he's on track to go at least into the 7th inning, possibly the 8th. Like that's best case scenario for Georgia Tech and Tate McKee. But if you're throwing again like 60% sliders or higher, which was kind of what Tate McKee's done most of the year, it's hard to go deep. It's just hard to get that many strikes with a slider. And that many first pitch outs and second pitch outs, right? Wake Forest does hit a home run in the bottom of the 2nd, which is big for them. That's what UNC said. They wanted the first game. Yeah, they get to pick. I think it's something like, you could be thinking about, you play early on day 1, and then you don't play till late game 2 if you win, or day 2. You get a little bit more rest time. Does it really mean that much? Probably not. Did UNC throw Knapp? I'm watching Squeeze Plays because they got all 3 games up right now. How do you feel about Chandler Simpson getting sent down? Did he get sent down? I didn't even see that. Let me see. He was doing well, though, wasn't he? But you know what? He's not an analytics sweetheart like the Tampa Bay Rays typically like to run out there. So, yes, Knapp. Wow, I can't believe. I mean, UNC has a deep staff, but I can't believe they pitched Knapp. Chandler sent down to Durham. Crazy, he's been doing so well. Fans have been all about him. Yeah, and again, if you look at advanced metrics, there's going to be a bunch of people who say, well, he's worth negative WAR and this and that, and his OPS isn't great and this. And it's like, dude, like there's more numbers to evaluate people than just OPS. Like Chandler Simpson is never, I repeat, is never going to look great if you look at his OPS. Now, if you look at his OPS and you apply his stolen bases to the amount of singles he's hit, and you say, okay, let's count those as doubles, all of a sudden his OPS would look way better. But they don't do that. They don't do that. So, I mean, that's just how it works up there in the big leagues now. If you're not like an analytics sweetheart, it's tough to get a shot. And even if you do get, like, he's hitting like right around 300, isn't he? Florida trying to get a little bit back into this one. First and second, 2 outs. Wake Forest has first and third, no outs. Wake Forest trying to get back in here. But this is honestly like, Tennessee is seething at the mouth right now. They're not seething. They're salivating at the mouth. Because if Wake Forest can get this game tight and both teams have to use like a lot of bullpen arms, Tennessee's just sitting there like, yes, thank you. And the same thing is true right now in the Coastal Regional. Like, Coastal's hoping, obviously, that East Carolina wins. Like, Coastal's hoping East Carolina wins. But the hope is that Florida can get close enough that they start using some more serious bullpen arms. And then Coastal's just like, okay. Sucks to have options, yeah. We wouldn't know, though, Dusty. We wouldn't know. None of ours ever got burned. All right. What's going on in these games now? Let's see. So Wake Forest obviously scores another run. All right, got to get some work done before 4. Then it's war. All right. Yes, with 19 steals, but Jake Mangum came back from the IL. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough decision. But, I mean, are all the other guys doing well in the outfield? Like, that's the other thing. Like, I don't know. I just don't follow the Rays enough. Ethan Norby gets out of it. Big out to get out of a jam there. East Carolina still up 9-2. UNC about to get an inning double play here. Jake Knapp at 102 innings pitched goes 7 innings. He's probably done. Unless they feel like he's, built up enough to go. And like we've talked about this, guys, like 135 pitches. Does that seem like a lot of pitches to people? That's 15 pitches per inning. That's 15 pitches per inning. So at 100 pitches in 7 innings, he's averaging less than 15 pitches per inning. Everyone gets really scared around that 100 pitch mark, but if you have an older guy in college and he's built up, 120 pitches is not a whole lot. Big strikeout there for Cincinnati. But Wake Forest has got some life. Like they feel like they're back in this now. 6-run game, scored 2 runs. You got to get a shutdown inning though next inning. You can't afford to let Cincinnati score a few more, get a few more across. It'd be a big hit right here if Wake Forest can get another run across. Dangerous walk. I mean, the thing is, in the Knoxville Regional, Lindsey Nelson is such a, and it is. It's just it's a great park to hit home runs. You just cannot afford to be walking guys in this park. I mean, you saw that with Cincinnati's big inning. Like, some walks just ended up leading to a couple big home runs. And now Wake Forest earns a walk here with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Like, you just cannot afford to walk guys in this regional. East Carolina with the home run. I mean, my goodness. Wow, man. Good afternoon. What's up, Canes? East Carolina just hit another home run. Like, Florida cannot get back in the game. What are the updates? I was walking around the ballpark. Cincinnati's up 8-2 on Wake Forest. East Carolina's up 10-2 on Florida. And then UNC's up 4-0 through 7, or at least through 6.5 over Holy Cross. Let me go to the live scores here just so we can have those up too, so I can see what anything that changes. Yep, North Carolina's still up on Holy Cross. East Carolina's up 10-2 on Florida. Cincinnati's up 8-2. Oh, Wake Forest almost just got a big hit there. Walked around the ballpark, small but nice. Yeah, it's a nice stadium, man, and I guarantee they're going to be getting, whenever you host a regional, it always equals stadium upgrades. Well, the Texas Regional has started. Texas is facing Houston Christian. They're starting, I believe, one of their bullpen arms. I could be wrong. Lefty sidearm guy, kind of submarine sidearm. It's like a weird slot, low 3/4. So Texas is definitely pitching off here to start off in regional play. Louisville versus Eastern Tennessee State has started as well. Wake Forest base hit, gets a run in, 8-3 now. Great answer, great inning offensively for Wake Forest, answering just what usually is a dagger for the game. Cincinnati went up 8-0 last half inning, and now Wake has answered and scored 3 runs, and they're still threatening. First and second, 2 outs. Oh, I feel bad for Florida. Nope, go ECU. Damn, step up, Wake. They are. I mean, they've done a great job answering this inning. The question is, what is their strategy? Are they still going to hang with the guy who's given up a lot of runs and hope he can throw up a few more zeros before going to the bullpen? Or do they think we're close? And these are the decisions that decide regionals, right? It's, you're going to kick yourself if you leave the guy in, he gives up 4 more runs, and your team ends up scoring 10. But if you also decide, hey, you know what? We're close enough. We think we can get to this team. We got to bring in some guys that can throw up zeros, and then you still lose. that's when you're kicking yourself as well. All right, I got to do something real quick here. All right. Breaking news from Hyro, our PA announcer, who is next to me. Derek Williams will make his first start in over 2 months at DH. Let's go. Wow. Well, the question is he going to come off and be a little bit cold? But again, when it's Miami's offense, you have to gamble on that. You have to gamble on having him back in the lineup, and hopefully he plays like he can. Wake Forest has bases loaded now. 1-2 count with 2 outs. A base hit here is just absolutely massive. East Tennessee State has a runner on with 2 outs at first base against Louisville. Texas is now up to bat in the bottom of the first against Houston Christian. 2-2 count now for Wake Forest. And this is the key, is when 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 outs as a base runner, you're not going on contact. You're going on the swing. You see a swing initiated, you're gone. Big pitch. Big pitch there from Cincinnati. Why are they doing dugout interviews in the NCAA tournament? I just don't get it. Can we let them worry about strategy and everything else? Like, it's just... Ooh, hit by pitch to lead off the inning for Texas. We should have Georgia and Binghamton starting soon. We should have NC State and Stetson if they haven't already started. Kentucky, West Virginia at 2:30. Florida State, Bethune-Cookman. Miami, Alabama at 3. Florida State, Bethune-Cookman at 3. TCU, Southern Cal at 3. Little Rock and LSU at 3. North Dakota State and Arkansas at 3. Georgia Tech and Western Kentucky at 4.
Brian went.
First two batters reach for Texas. UGA game may be delayed. We live in Monroe and it's raining big time. Supposed to clear out by about 3 or so thunderstorms now. Yeah, the rain came through like the Atlanta area about 30 or 40 minutes ago. So it went pretty quickly. It was about 30 minutes of rain. It was a lot of rain though. Like it was raining hard. So didn't have Florida getting blown out by ECU on my bingo card. Yeah. Interesting. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go to get a, let's see here. I will be right back, boys and girls. FSU going with Bellini against Bethune. Nice. I'm getting a snack and I'm going to the bathroom, guys. All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Don't worry. All right, let me get myself back up here now. All right. What do we have going on now? FSU going with Bellini against Bethune. That's probably a good choice. Like I think it's a great. I mean, you got to save Arnold, your best arm for Northeastern, because they can really pitch. Like we've talked about that, but you just can't. You can't underestimate. You cannot underestimate Northeastern. Texas will score the first run. Oh, wow. They threw him out. What a throw by Houston Christian's right fielder. Wow. Great throw. I didn't think they had a chance. What a throw. Not a great start for the ACC or SEC? No, it's not. Hadn't been. Did we get the super chat goal? No, we didn't. We did not, Wally. I'll still do something though, because we got a lot of them. So they did rule him out at home plate. Texas does not score in the first. Did Kendall Rogers put something up about the Georgia Tech job? Yeah, it was very vague. It basically said that Georgia Tech had done some background due diligence on some candidates, but ultimately feels very comfortable with James Ramsey taking over as the head guy. And so it looks like it's going to be James Ramsey. I tried to DM you on Twitter to see what the cover was, but it told me to pay premium to message you. The cover for what? Just do a 6-hour stream instead of a 12-hour? That probably works. Yeah, I'm making a mess down here. All right, let's see what's going on. Good for James Ramsey, yeah. And like if you ask anybody around, like players around the program, like former players, everybody, like that's who pretty much everybody wants. That's who everybody wants. Cover the balance of super chats. Oh, it was like $40. We missed it by 4, but don't do it now. It's too late. I set the deadline of Thursday. But I think it's a good idea, Zach. I'll do like a 6-hour stream, maybe like super regionals or something. We'll do a 6-hour. I guess it all is pay to play. That's right. Well, that's right, Wally. That's right. Crap, chump change. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nice, easy. Hey, it's subtle flex there, Wally. Subtle flex. Hey, to some people, $40 is a lot of money. But we'll do like a 6-hour regional stream or a super regional stream. Or maybe Monday for the regional championships. It just depends on what the schedule is Monday, if it makes sense to do it. What a job by University of Texas maintenance or field crew or whatever who got that batter's eye repaired. Big out for Wake Forest. Gets out of a 2-runner, runners on first and second jam. Chump change. Send it to me then. Man, that's good popcorn. Holy cow. North Carolina steals second base with 2 outs. Houston Christian trying to score first here, upset. Does anybody eat popcorn one at a time? Are there any people in the chat right now that eat like popcorn, one piece of popcorn at a time? Carolina made the right decision pitching Knapp today. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, the thing is, UNC has they have the luxury of having like a really good starting rotation. So you don't feel like there's a massive drop off from your number 1, your number 2, and your number 3. So it just depends. I mean, everybody's different. But UNC has the depth to do that. You eat popcorn one at a time like this? That's crazy. I feel like I look like a barbarian eating popcorn, but yeah, a psycho. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I feel like you just like, no, never seen it, Sinatra. Yeah, I feel like everybody just gets like a handful and it's like spilling out onto your mouth and everything. Oh, I thought Florida maybe hit one there, but nope, till 10-2. Heading to the 7th inning, Florida down 10-2. East Carolina is in control. Hey, we'll listen to replay WWBA this weekend. Which WWBA you guys going to be at, Charles? Charles has to be very upset from the reports of Brian O'Connor potentially taking the job at Mississippi State. I eat popcorn like Cookie Monster eats cookies. Crumbs all over the place. Yeah, that's how I am too. If you've been watching since I've gotten the popcorn out, it's just like falling out of my hands, and I'm trying to be less of a slob for the stream. But if I wasn't on camera right now, I'd just be okay. Well, good luck, Charles. Good luck in the tournament this weekend. Perfect game, South. Just so you guys know, I will be live for the start of the Georgia Tech game. I may have to cut the stream around 30 minutes from now to go pick up something, but then I'll be back for the start of the Georgia Tech game. Charles, absolutely upset. Yeah, I think this is the reality, Charles, is that with that super conference stuff, that everything that's coming up with it. I think Brian O'Connor generally sees that Virginia probably will not be in that super conference based on their football team. And he's probably not getting the kind of support a top, certainly as far as resume, he's like a top 3 coach in college baseball. And like if that type of coach who's turned Virginia into a national power cannot get serious financial backing from his AD, he's going to be gone. Especially to a school like Mississippi State, who's going to pay him more, give him way more financial backing. Thought you didn't like being on. Everyone's telling me I need to be on. Wake Forest with a massive home run. Wake Forest is coming back. They're chipping away. No, the only reason, Nancy, I didn't want to do the semifinal game against Clemson was I didn't stream against Cal, and we played really well. So it was superstitious. But now that they lost to Clemson, that's cleared. Now I can make whichever decision I make. Wow, Texas making a move. Texas is going like a bullpen day today. Knapp. Dude. What did I tell you guys? What a decision by UNC. This takes balls. Like, hats off to Bryant Gaines, the pitching coach, Scott Forbes, the head coach, for letting Knapp go back out there in the 9th. This is massive for North Carolina's chances of winning the regional. The fact that they will, but for the most part, unless something changes here, not throw a single bullpen arm in game 1, and then he gives up a hit. But I think they're going to keep him in. I think they told him, like, listen, this is your game. Because just to be honest, like, Knapp does not... Well, Forbes is going out there now. I think they probably said at the start of the inning, you're gonna throw... If you give a base runner, you're out. Thought you didn't like... We don't have ESPN Plus, so we'll be listening to Georgia Tech's broadcast. Nice. Jeez, East Carolina is just like... East Carolina is just... They can't stop scoring. It's 11-2 against Florida now. Wow. Houston Christian threatening here with 2 outs in the top of the second. They got runners on first and second. So I'm probably going to cut the stream here in a little bit so I can go pick up what I need to pick up, and then I will be back streaming live before the Georgia Tech game. What does that do to Florida's morale? I mean, at this point, they're in that dugout thinking, well, we're 0-1 in the regional. 1 second. I need to... All right, I'm back. Nancy, what does that do to Florida's morale? It's just basically they just know they're out, at least of this game for the most part, unless they just mount a crazy comeback. And now they're already mentally getting ready for having to make it out of the losers bracket. Now Florida is an SEC team with a bunch of depth. Like they have the ability to fight their way out of a losers bracket and win the regional. It's very tough. It's very tough. All right, guys, I'm going to go pick that stuff up now so I can be ready for the Georgia Tech game. Thank you for joining the stream. I will be back in 40 minutes probably to start the stream before